What's happening, YouTube? I got some interesting INFJ stuff for you. I got to key this up right quick. There is a YouTube channel, Brainy Dose, BRAINYDOSE, Brainy Dose. Got over 1 million subscribers. Guess big channel, I don't know. But I ran across this video. It says, the dark side of an INFJ, the world's rarest personality type. Woo-woo, right? I did one of these videos before, and actually it did pretty good as in regards to doing a video. It's one of my better ones for view count, shall we say. But that's not why I'm doing this. What I'm doing this one is because this description, I'm assuming this cat's got 1 million subscribers, so he must put a little work into his videos, I'm assuming. I don't know, never saw this channel before. But I'm gonna play his video, pause, talk, play, pause, talk, and see what you think. But I'll tell you what, it was honest engine, right? If you're really honest and you're an INFJ, and if this is a correct description, I don't know, you guys tell me. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure it out. Bumbling and stumbling the way I am, but I'm on the quest, right? So fuck it. Let's listen.
The unexpected dark side of INFJ, the world's rarest personality type. The Myers-Briggs type indicator has 16 personality types. INFJ, the introverted, intuitive, feeling and judging type, is the rarest and is often misunderstood. Generally, INFJs are known for caring deeply about humanity. They are incredibly altruistic. You can see this clearly by the INFJs in history, like Mother Teresa.
I've heard the word altruistic before. Never really knew what it meant, but hearing it in this context, I knew exactly what it meant, right? Big picture, right? You want to save the whole planet. Well, I can't save the planet, but I could sure try to save as many little pippos as I can, and that shit burns in me. So that's my correlation, INFJ, to this Mother Teresa aspect of this personality. Always has been. I've said this for a long time. You know, if this is, supposedly that's the biggest aspect, correct me if I'm wrong, but if there was one part of this personality that was stronger or bigger or more defining in regards to an INFJ, it's that. Your life mission. Correct? I don't know. You tell me. Let's listen.
Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. If there were a personality type most likely to right wrongs through a social movement, it would be the INFJ. And while INFJs are kind, considerate, and gentle, they also possess darker personality traits that are far less becoming. In fact, this Myers-Briggs personality type hosts some historical villains as well. That said, wherever INFJs fall on the spectrum of morality, they tend to be passionate about causes they believe are just. If you want to know more about the dark side of the INFJ personality, keep watching to learn more about their darker tendencies.
Get on with it.
Extremely high expectations.
Oh, fuck.
INFJs might believe that.
Big problem of mine. I always expect too much out of other people. Have my whole life. Expect them to think the way I do. You know. I'm working on it anyway. But I relate for sure.
Their expectations are realistic. But the truth is that more often than not, they set brutally high standards. They apply these lofty expectations to themselves, as well as others, to everyone's detriment. They tend to expect the most from those closest to them, like their children, best friends, or romantic partners. In new relationships in particular, INFJs tend to feel discouraged after the honeymoon phase, once the excitement and romance fade. And even though this stage of boredom is inevitable, INFJs continue to set the bar excessively high for their relationship. As they wonder if their connection still retains value, the INFJ may create chaos for themselves. They might not admit it, but what they truly desire are ideal relationships and often unattainable goals. That goes for everything else in their lives
unobtainable.
too. While it's easy to say that nobody's perfect, INFJs have a hard time understanding that and recognizing when someone needs a break, including themselves.
Fresh AM PM coffee.
Sorry about the commercial.
Always brewed fresh. Even at night? That way too.
Sorry about
Moodiness.
Moodiness.
Some INFJs are better at hiding their emotions from other people. Most can appear calm when they absolutely have to. Others wear their emotions on their sleeves.
How many times have I said
Either
that?
way, the INFJ experiences intense emotions that can easily influence their behavior. Instead of talking through their problems, this personality type can push others away and opt to throw a pity party for one. Even though INFJs would
Been
like
there,
to
done that.
confide in someone, they usually fear being misunderstood. In fact, they can find themselves just as confused about their moods as others are. INFJs are introverts.
Just as confused about their moods as others are. Boy, is that not a true statement. You tell me. I will continue. Are you laughing?
Which means that they need time alone to sort through their emotions. But this alone time can easily go overboard as they self-isolate. When this personality type does open up, they often
Can go overboard and self-isolate. Are you kidding me? If there ever was a hermit, you're looking at him right here. Just saying.
apologize for talking about their feelings because they don't want to feel like a burden.
Yeah, that too.
Paranoia and self-destruction. INFJs often pride themselves on grasping motives. They tend to understand why people do things or where others' heads are at. That's because INFJs possess introverted intuition. It helps them assess and predict the actions of others.
Yeah.
And while this feature can be a guiding light that aids in understanding different perspectives and connecting to others on a deeper level, in its unhealthy expression, it can lead to suspicions about other people and their motives. The problem begins when the INFJ doesn't trust their intuition as they should.
Yeah.
This loss of trust is often seen in their romantic relationships, when the INFJ questions their lover's fidelity. In this case, benign events may trigger the INFJ to perceive a
I
threat.
ain't saying shit.
Even when the INFJ's doubts are unfounded, they may begin to devolve into a pattern of negative thoughts and improper behaviors. They can also lose their sense of direction and purpose, leading to paranoia and ultimately on a path of self-destruction.
Yeah.
Overreaction and a downward spiral of stress.
You know what?
On the Myers-Briggs
When he said paranoia and a downward spiral, when I was going through my comp and all my shit, it felt like the whole world was against me. It did. Everywhere I turned, I was getting screwed. And I can't say I felt paranoid, but I get what he's saying there. I totally relate. There's very little in this video that I don't relate with. And even the shitty stuff. You know, gotta be honest, the good and the bad, right?
type indicator, intuition and sensing are counterparts. Intuition relies on foresight. Sensing relies on observing reality. Since INFJs possess strong intuition, they often lack the ability to see things literally and focus on concrete details. When INFJs make a sensing mistake, they might disregard the facts. When this weakness is pointed out, they often become defensive and irritated. This personality type can also become unfocused, clumsy, and prone to accidents. Small incidents that reveal these traits can cause the INFJ further detriment. This frustration and annoyance at their own flaws can cause the INFJ stress, as the pressure to perform well only creates further disappointment at their perceived failures. The INFJ may begin to obsess. This might result in compulsive tendencies or overindulgence in pleasure. INFJs are known to overreact to failure and take part in a downward spiral. They may overeat or overspend as they withdraw, becoming increasingly self-centered.
Overeat. Yeah, been down that road. Me and my Oreo cookies and a gallon of milk. Are you fucking kidding me? And throw in some ice cream? Johnny got up to 250 pounds at one point. I've been as light as 173. A little while back. A couple years back, anyway. But I stick pretty close to 200 pounds. But I've seen 250. I know all about that. What do you call it? Medicating with food or whatever. I've been there, done that. Give me some fucking ice cream. Gotta be honest. Comfort food. There you go. That's what I was thinking of.
And as their attitude toward the outer world worsens,
Oh,
they may
yeah,
feel a loss of
FTW,
control
right?
and develop even more defensive tendencies.
Totally.
Extreme stubbornness.
Ha 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 ha!
INFJs love to plan for the future.
Wait. I don't know if I know too many people more stubborn than me. I don't. Maybe. It'd be tough, but can I relate?
See the world as a series of events leading up to the big picture. However, we all know that life always manages to get in the way of plans. People with this personality type often have difficulty accepting the changes in their lives. They are often perceived as stubborn because they actively dislike change, and for a good reason. It wreaks havoc on their plans, steals away any sense of control, and can send them into that downward spiral of overreaction. Accepting things for how they are isn't easy for INFJs, and they usually become restless and dissatisfied after change. With time, the INFJ will learn to adapt, but that won't stop them from making new plans. An overly critical outlook.
Listen.
This is the new Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic.
Commercial.
And it responds to snoring.
Get past that.
INFJs love to provide...
Pause this. What he was just saying, I correlate to when I got hammered on comp and with my pension and the money got cut way short. You know, I went from setting up shop in Cali to Oregon to the North Woods. You know, so what he was saying is you just, right? Anyway, back to the video.
Others with helpful advice, but they're often incapable of supporting others in a way that focuses on acceptance rather than action.
Yeah.
While they can easily see any situation from multiple perspectives, and their honesty comes from a well-intentioned place, a proactive plan isn't always what their friends are looking for. Their opinions may come off as judgmental, or in the worst-case scenario, borderline cruel.
I've been both. Judgmental and cruel in my behavior. But it was coming from a place of trying to help and thinking I was right. I wasn't trying to be mean and cruel and hurtful, but I was a dick. Spot on. He's absolutely right. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Those who possess this personality type may never intend to hurt others in their honesty, but that doesn't mean that they don't. While INFJs want the best for those around them, they sometimes do more harm than good with their overly critical opinions. Bottled up feelings and emotional explosions.
Fuck.
INFJs are usually a source of comfort for their loved ones because they are extremely sensitive to other people's needs and desires. However, friends and family of the INFJ may not recognize their needs just as effortlessly. To worsen the situation, it is not uncommon for the INFJ to fail in communicating those needs. They opt to bottle up their emotions and keep the peace instead of confronting someone about feeling hurt. Then, the negative emotions and memories of being wronged pile up. After their patience is exhausted,
I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Turn the blind eye or turn the other cheek with someone you love when they did or said something that really grinded on you, but you took the high ground, right? You let it slide, and you let it slide, and you let it slide, and you let it slide. And then when you finally lose it, it's terrible. I've done exactly that. Way too many times. To a T. Exactly what he described. Let the little thing slide to a point where when it lets go, it's all bad. And then I throw all of those little digs all in one avalanche at somebody. You did this, you said that, remember this, you remember that. Instead of handling it at the time, because I don't like confrontation, I just put that shit in the piggy bank. And then when I needed to, I smashed that fucking piggy bank and then blast you with all of those things. Exactly what he said, man. Guilty. Shithead. Sorry. I returned to the video.
the INFJ can't resist persistent explosion of their frustrations. While their feelings are valid and stem from many wrongdoings, it can often seem like the INFJ is overreacting,
Something did me.
drastically ending relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Since INFJs are judgers, they put serious thought into their decisions and don't usually act on impulse. When they slam the door on someone, it's usually for a good reason and never without intense contemplation.
True.
However, there are times when they cut someone out when they really shouldn't. Since the INFJ
Guilty.
often struggles to communicate their feelings, the other person may not be aware that something is wrong. If they were, they might try to solve the problem. Whether or not cutting someone off is the best decision for the INFJ, the situation is always painful for everyone involved. The INFJ feels that they can't tolerate injustice any longer. The other person may be taken off guard by the INFJ's sudden loss of interest.
I just went through this. B. I know you're watching, homie. I tried to fucking wave the white flag, dog. And what he says is spot on. Both at fault. It is what it is, but another perfect example. Me and a friend of mine, we struggle with communication. Been friends for a long time. That what he was talking about right there applies to a relationship and a situation that I just made a phone call on the other day, trying to extend an olive branch, as they say, right? But I digress. Back to the video. Like I said, I relate to this whole motherfucker right here.
When this personality type slams the door on someone in their life, they may completely ignore the other person. They may even ghost them and not tell them why they don't want to talk anymore. Sometimes cutting a person out of their lives.
I've heard that saying so many times, ghost them. I'm good at that. When I've had it, see ya. That's what I say, see ya. Fuck you, I'm out. And I don't care how hard you try or how long you try, no fucks given. I was gonna drop his name, our little, never mind. But the door slam. I get it.
Entirely isn't an option. They might work, live, or attend school together. In this case,
Isn't an option. Sometimes you're stuck with someone that you can't door slam. I work with this cat in a body shop, side by side in the paint shop, just him and I. I was prepping cars, he was painting them. Homie was a saucer hard, right? Come to work hammered, sleep in the paint booth, fuck off. And here I'm trying to get raises, right? I'm trying to kill it, bust my ass. Long story short, we got beef. And we had to work side by side. For 6 months, we didn't say shit to each other. Finally, he got me fired. And it's a good thing. Because, let's just say it was a good thing. It was time for me to go anyway. Anyway, back to the video. I relate to another one.
the INFJ will become emotionally distant. They'll give the cold shoulder when they can, and if they must engage, they'll do it at the lowest capacity possible. INFJs are known to end relationships abruptly because they often don't give a voice to their pain. Manipulative tendencies. Because INFJs can easily read others.
This was a hard one for me to admit, manipulating people, but I had to think long and hard. Had I ever done this? And I have, especially with my brothers and the ex-wife. When I thought they were really fucking up and they weren't listening, and I would try to get them to do what was in their best interest as far as what I was concerned, right? I was the fucking know-it-all. I was gonna save them from themselves and manipulate them into doing. Here's an example. This tattoo is a cross, a heart, and 2 roses. My 2 brothers' names go underneath each rose, and through the heart it says mom, right? It's a family crest that I came up with when I was 18 years old. And the deal was, when I got mine from Henry Goldfield in Frisco back in the day, back in 1980, 79 maybe, I can't remember. I was still in fucking high school, but whatever. I told my brother, I said, dude, I will pay for your tattoo so that he could get his. He wanted one. And I said, you quit smoking weed and I'll get you one. He quit smoking weed, and then I got him one, and then he went back to smoking weed, and I just fucking had to bust his balls 24/7. And fuck, man, I smoke weed every day now, right? What a fucking hypocrite. Anyway, yeah, manipulative, right? Trying to manipulate him with a bribe of a tattoo to quit smoking weed. I was a fucking asshole. Sorry, bro. Sonny. Quite a few people for my bad behavior back in the day. Anyway, I return to the video.
They tend to be incredibly good at using that information to their advantage.
Yep.
INFJs tend to manipulate others into saying things or acting a certain way without even realizing what they're doing. For a personality
I didn't know it until they checked me. Get this.
Being the victim.
We were hanging out at my brother's house, the one that passed away, Paul. This is way back. It was me, my brother Paul, James, Paul's girlfriend Sarah, Sonny, the wifey, Rudy, I think, was in the house, crazy little hood rat. And we were sitting at the table playing dominoes and drinking and such, shall we say. Friday night, whatever. And boy, they just decided, I was busting somebody's balls, and they all fucking had a little chat behind the scenes and said, you know what, dude, we're done with you telling us what to do. You always this, you always that, you're always telling me. Sonny would say, you're always telling me this, Paul, Jim, blah, blah, blah. They like, fuck it, dude, we don't want to hear it no more. And I was like, oh, because they were right. And then I didn't say shit. Fuck you. Do you. And I learned, right? It ain't for me to tell anybody anything. I can share my story, right? And hope for the best. Anyway, I shall continue. Fuck, we're already 20 minutes in. Shit, I'll never get through this.
Of a lie or being manipulated themselves, admitting that they might be toxic is an extremely difficult realization to confront.
Right.
While INFJs are known for their intelligence, sometimes their self-awareness needs work. Self-reflection can make all the difference in the world. So that
What
they
I'm
can
doing
use
right
their
now,
intuition for
self-reflection.
good, not for evil. Each Myers-Briggs personality type has its own ups and downs, and every person possesses their own strengths and weaknesses. For the INFJ personality type, these limitations may often come as a surprise. With a typically gentle and compassionate nature, the INFJ is also prone to outbursts and severe reactions. And while the Myers-Briggs test can help you identify...
Generally gentle, but possess the ability of outburst. Spot on again. What can I say? I think this is wrapped.
Your strengths and flaws. Know that no two people are exactly alike.
So you got it. The name of the video is The Dark Side of INFJ. The channel is Brainy Dose. Brainy, yeah, Brainy Dose, D-O-S-E. All large cap on that name, by the way. But yeah, what can I say? That is by far probably the best overall description of my personality. And if what he's describing is a true INFJ, well, fuck it then. I know without a doubt, you know. You tell me, all of you typers out there, right? My new little friends from the typing community, I love you guys, man. I can't wait to interact with the typers. I think this is cool, right? You guys are another aspect of this. You know, I have a hard time keeping up with, you know, all of the little two initial things you guys are spitting out and all that stuff. That's a little tough, but you know, I get the basics, you know. Let's type away. All right. Having a good time with this. I hope you were too. Damn near a half hour into this. Is going to take forever to download. Shit. Anyway. Do what you do best. Much love and respect as always. Till next time. Have a beautiful evening. Peace. Oh, and don't forget to love your babies.